Hello everybody, welcome to another Monday Night Live at Cafe Gratitude. Tonight, we've got Bethanne Wanamaker and Christian Bates coming to speak to you about how to make superfoods work for you. They are quite the dynamic duo here. And they just moved to this area this last year, and we have really enjoyed having them, really enjoyed their presence, love who they are. I'm going to read their bio here before I hand over the microphone. Bethanne Wanamaker is a passionate, certified nutrition educator and superfood herbal skincare formulator. She's the National Nutrition Educator for Health Force Nutritionals. She's intensely devoted to empowering people to take control of their own health and become responsible and accountable for their actions and results regarding nutrition. Christian Bates is a superfood eco-lifestyle expert and raw gourmet chef, formulator, and herbalist. He's the co-creator of the infamous Wild Bar. There we go. The Wild Bar. If you've never tried it, try it. They're wonderful. It's a superfood cacao bar that has been on natural food stores' shelves nationally for over 4 years. His deepest passion is to teach people how to eat and live in a way that's both completely delicious, really fun, and densely healthful. Together, they're one powerhouse of superfood nutrition information and education. Here they are tonight to take some of the mystery out of the superfood experience and to teach you how to make them work, them being the superfoods, not necessarily the two of them, for you in your life. They also have a new ebook coming out that I'm sure they will tell you about. Just came out. Bethanne Wanamaker and Christian Bates.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, for that introduction. Let's give a big round of applause for Stephen and Shea for throwing Monday Night Live.
Thank you. And thank you for asking us to be here. And it's really lovely to be a part of this. And just thank you to Cafe Gratitude. I actually moved to Mill Valley, which is about an hour and 20 minutes south of here, a year ago today. So this is quite the awesome way to celebrate. So very nice. And yeah, it's a great way to celebrate. I just realized as you were saying that we've been here for about a year. So it's really nice to be here. And the conscious community in San Francisco, the whole Bay Area has just been like really welcoming and really supportive and just really lovely to be a part of. So thanks everyone for coming out tonight. We have to really thank you because seriously part of success is just showing up, and it's always nice to see people actually come and take time out of their day. You could be doing anything. It's super hot and warm and lovely, so just thank you for being here.
Let's also give a big round of applause for Cafe Gratitude. Woo! All right, so our talk tonight, our presentation, is going to be about how to make superfoods work for you. So who here has heard of superfoods? Woo! Awesome. Give a woo if you've heard it. Woo! All right. Can anybody name some superfoods? Anybody? Yes, Marina. Acai berry. All right. Another one?
Spirulina.
Maca and spirulina. All right.
Any others?
Any others? Yes. Cacao.
And are these everyone's favorites?
Goji berries. All right, what kind of superfoods did someone have today other than those? Chia seed, all right, excellent. Yes. Good answer.
And who's kind of like not kind of, but who is a hardcore user of superfoods? Who's really into it? We've got a few people, okay, and who's somewhat into it? Who's kind of familiar, knows them, maybe takes them, consumes them a few to several times per week? You may or may not know why. And then who is a newbie, who's like just kind of embarking on this journey to take your levels of health really to the next level? Who's just getting into this?
Who's a little bit,
just a few people.
Who's a little bit unclear of what a superfood is?
Okay.
All right, good. Thanks for being honest.
Awesome.
So superfoods are a new term as of the last few years. If you go back 5 years ago, there was only like a couple superfoods on the market. That would be like maca. Cacao just came on the market in its raw form back then. So superfoods are a food that is therapeutically nutritious and really high quality. Like your average food out there, it might not, like your average health food, let's say like lettuce, it's not going to necessarily make you unhealthy to eat it. It's probably going to help you a little bit, but it's not necessarily going to like reverse mineral deficiencies. It's not necessarily going to like give your immune system an entrainment. It's not necessarily going to like heal your nervous system and your brain. So we're going to talk about foods today and make it in a really fun, easy way to consume them. The foods that actually do those things, to actually change your life from the inside out. The foods that make it much more clear that you are what you eat, that actually give those kind of results where you consume them. You start to notice them yourselves. You start to notice the beauty that they create in other people as you see them eating those on a regular basis too.
And I think it's pretty interesting. Just yesterday, actually, someone sent me a message on Facebook, and I just think that it's really worth mentioning. It's a new application on iPhone and iPod. Or on the iPad? Does anyone know about this yet? It's the Superfood HD app. So I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, people are just starting to really recognize that this is it's not a new thing, but it's something to be aware of. You know, it's not a passing fad. It's a really cool, fun, hip, awesome thing to incorporate into your life. So I kind of want to just read what they have to say about superfoods, and it pretty much matches a lot of how we believe as well. So a superfood is rich in phytochemicals, special nutrients that have properties that embrace health and fight disease. These foods provide benefits beyond their recognized value. The foods you find in this application are best eaten in the raw state as living food for our living bodies. Even if you're eating organic, raw, and living foods, superfoods add nutrients that you just may not be getting because our soils are depleted, our air and water are polluted, and our bodies need help. So, do you have a question about that? It's just Superfood HD application. I just thought that was interesting. I mean, it's really cool that things are starting to come out on the market like that, and they really nailed it. You know, you could be eating a high raw diet and still feel like something's missing, or still feel like something's not working for you, or just you may not be headed in the direction that you know you want to be going. Like I said earlier, you may not be reaching the levels of health that you know are possible for yourself. What's your definition of superfoods?
Well, I actually got into the raw food diet 8 years ago, and I was very fortunate because when I started to get into this holistic lifestyle, getting into cleansing, getting into more raw organic foods, I got onto those green superfood powders right away, and I think that really helped me a lot. I also got into like making gourmet food and making foods that kind of mock your cooked entrees. That also helped, but actually getting the minerals in, not just relying on kind of your standard produce that we get, but actually going for the more densely mineralized food. That just makes a whole wonder of difference with whatever your diet is doing. And so tonight we're not going to preach any specific thing and say like this is right, this is wrong. That's not what we're about at all. We're all about just adding things in that really work and trying to make some of these more superfood type substances a little bit more of our staple in our diet instead of like adding just a little bit in occasionally. We want to figure out, okay, how are we gonna, if we're gonna have some of these superfoods, how do we make it really fun so that we can actually look forward to it daily and have it just digest so well, taste so good. And also, as we start to show you about liquid superfood nutrition, when you do stuff with liquids, we're gonna demonstrate two beauty elixirs tonight. That process of making in a blender these kind of things at home and then consuming it yourself, I mean, that's like a whole college education that you get in just a few days of doing this. You learn so much just by playing around with the food and then actually absorbing, getting that wisdom of the food going right into your body.
Exactly. So one of the things is that we all have the same common goal. I think that that's really important to remember because there's all this division in the raw food movement or the nutrition movement, the holistic movement. There's kind of like, oh, these people do this and these people preach this and these people advocate this. And when you focus on the differences, then it breaks up the unity. And so what I am really advocating is like, listen to many people and take obviously what resonates with you and try things out. And instead of just shutting out like, oh no, they're just doing, they don't have it right or whatever, the excuses or whatever the perception is, keeping an open